Right, this is the last
Joining me, do tweet in if
bloody
you'd like
attempt.
to at McCrossan and let me know who you think might win this race today. Thanks for your message on Twitter today. As we look at these riders now.
Okay, now heart rate's back now as well.
The front of the peloton.
Right, none of that made any sense at all.
And also one Brazilian
The
rider.
only reason the Bluetooth would go off would be if I disabled it with the device manager, and that didn't happen.
The gap's time to grow a teeny bit more. 2:25 now on Radio Tour, the advantage for these riders. Well, I hope you're
No idea why the audio stream stopped on the YouTube.
a lot more is going to happen before the end of this race.
I'm not even in the race anymore now.
Kicking on at the front, still the rider from United Healthcare, a member of Rachel Hill's team. She was just in here just now, still looking really cool. Spinning those pedals over as though it's still the beginning of the race as Ben King moves up on the outside. On his Cannondale bike, I saw Jonathan Walters a couple of nights ago. He is here with Doug Ellis as well, and Connor Dunn making his way through too. The Irish team getting some really good riders now. They have the legendary times with Stephen Roach holding on to the car as Matteo Trentin having a conversation. Rides for the Ethics Quick-Step team. It looks like he's just discussing team tactics. That's more than 10 seconds. And on the front now, moving up, Ian Stannard of Great Britain. They're starting to look interested. Alex Dowsett also arriving. I wonder what the team tactics of Great Britain are today. Dowsett making his way through to the front of the race, the former world hour record holder sitting on the wheel of Tony Martin, another magnificent time trialist. But suddenly Great Britain are coming forward in numbers. I wonder what their tactic is going to be. Is it Adam Yates that they're going to ride for? But just talking about Ireland, now they've got Dan Martin, they've got Nicholas Roach, they've got Philip Diagnan, Connor Dunn, Sam Bennett, and many, many other riders. It's very impressive to see. To Lily Hill again, inside final 85 kilometres of today's race. Tom Bowman gives it a little bit of throttle, immediately trapped by Tony Martin. Tom Bowman is looking like he wants to get involved in the action now. So Bowman stretching the tempo a little bit at the front of this race. Tom Bowman looking animated. Miko Kwiatkowski's teammate at Ethics Quick-Step also there. And suddenly this tempo is starting to go up all the time. And that interesting move of the Dutch squad to try and stretch the race and break it a little bit the last time round looks like it is starting to cause some problems for some riders further on back in the race, and now it's the Belgian squad. They're trying to stretch this tempo a little bit more. Next time round, we've got 5 laps of racing to go. Things are hotting up, and so at this point in the race, we welcome into the commentary box to join us is this course wasn't that hard, but we've added up 46 climbs in any bike race. It's very, very hard indeed, isn't it?
Extremely hard. And the thing is with this course, there's the three climbs. There's, there's Libby, there's 23rd, and there's coming up Governors. And every time you go up it, it takes a bit of power. It's like a punchy. So every time you go, and I compare it to like lifting weights. If you're lifting weights and you get to that 10th rep, and then all of a sudden your legs give out, you can't do that 11th rep. This is how this course is shaping up, and this is how it's going to play out. Is that you're going to be fine for 10 laps, but all of a sudden when you get to the last 2 laps, you got to try to go up 23rd with the same power, the same watts that you've been doing it. Your legs are going to give out, and before you know it, we're going to see a lot of riders actually. The gaps are going to open up, big splits are going to happen, and right now, what's going to be critical is having the numbers. The numbers in that front group in these splits is really going to be critical. Belgium right now trying to set things up and keeping that pace. And that's the thing too. Once a team senses a little bit of weakness or a split, they're trying to take advantage of it right away. And again, usually you don't see that in the World Championships or any race until you get sorted down to the end. 82 kilometers to go is a long racing route.
Yeah, because normally when we look at World Championships, and you and I have seen lots of World Championships, generally what happens is you see the breakaway go, they get 10 minutes, they chase them down, the last 2 laps is flat out, full motor, everyone's going. But this is a totally different shape of the world, and it's really exciting to see the way Belgium are pressing on, the Dutch have pressed on a little bit, and now a lot of the time actually Kwiatkowski's been near the front, he's sitting third wheel as defending champion right now, and this is more like a classic type bike race, isn't it, where we see every single little climb being used as that springboard to try and split more riders out the back.
Very much like a classic style race. The classic design kind of course, the classic style race is playing out here. And what we see a lot of times is you'll have a lot of leaders in a typical World Championships. You'll have a lot of leaders sitting in, preserving themselves. The way this course is designed and the way it seems to be playing out is that really the morning strategy really says we are working for you. We are working for you. It's all designed on one rider from each country, and the other riders really are putting themselves in a position where they really do have to sacrifice themselves in order to keep that main contender fresh for the end and in a good position. That's the thing though. It's not just about being fresh for the end. Really a lot of it is about position. We've seen a few crashes. You have to be in the front because as you get over the top of these climbs, the front 15 guys, they can all sit up. You can ride really easy. The 30th to 50th position, they're chasing for kilometer after kilometer after kilometer, burning a ton of energy while the front guys are resting.
We've just seen Robert Hessig go on the attack again. Now we've seen him do this a few times during the race so far. It's like a little bit of a sparring partner duo here going on with Bauke Mollema, he just went to the front, he let Robert Hessig go on the attack, but none of these attacks seem to be sticking, and I wonder what the Dutch plan is. Are they riding for Tom Dumoulin today, who we haven't seen all race? But the Dutch are softening up all the time, but nothing's really happening for them. Do we think Dumoulin is their rider today, or is there another plan?
They didn't have someone in the first split.
No.
They started riding very early on.
Yeah.
Very surprising at that, because there were a lot of other countries that didn't have somebody in the first split. They didn't let it go way up the road. They could have let this thing take 6-7 minutes, probably without it being a threat. I mean, half the riders in that race, a ton of
Okay, so the only thing I can attempt on this ride now
racing in America.
is the sprint at the end.
Holland, obviously, with the plan, trying to soften it, maybe trying to make, maybe they think the race course isn't that hard. They're like, okay, we need to make the race hard.
Although I think that's disappeared now as well.
To make the race as hard as possible. But I think on its own, with 5 laps to go right now, the race is going to be hard enough.
Frankie, look at the average speed now, 45 kilometres an hour. It's getting faster and faster all the time. Riders are dropping out the back. We've got some splits. I've just seen one of the British riders being dropped there. We're at 4 hours, 23 minutes. As a rider, there aren't many races of 260k. We see Milano Sanremo is 300, but apart from that, there are not many riders there are not many races 260k anywhere in the world. So just how demanding is it on a body of an athlete to ride 260k?
It's hard, especially, again, everybody can make 120 miles.
Yeah.
The last 30 miles are completely different. It takes a whole different beast, and it takes a world champion to be able to have the strength to be able to get there at the end. Everything starts getting that
Sweetsoft, who's coming across to this leading group, who's a great time trialist who rides for the Team Sky. We saw Kirienka win the individual time trial the other day. So 3 riders now at the front, 79 kilometres to go. Pantano is the Colombian rider in the middle there. At the front is Guillaume Bourdin, the Canadian rider, and at the back is Sweetsoft. These 3 riders will try and go clear. Now another attacker. Is this Taylor Phinney coming across to the leading group of riders? No, I don't think it is, because Taylor's got some tape on him today, so it's not him, but it is now one of the riders. Is this joining up with him? It is Taylor, isn't it? So he's taken the tape off his... Oh no, it's still there on the left leg. I thought it was Taylor, and then I thought it wasn't for a second. So Phinney, with 178k to go. Now bear in mind, Frankie, this guy has had 18 months out trying to recover, and you're talking about the fact that, you know, the last 30 miles is going to be difficult. We're inside the last 50 miles. Just how incredible is it that Taylor Phinney can come back on?
So that is amazing. And his first race back at Tour of Utah, he was second on that stage. It's like people training and racing for years, and they can't get first, second, or third in any kind of stage, and on a remarkable talent. And so he, I think, delayed coming back in order to make sure that he was at full strength when he came back. And now, looking back, was the best decision he made, you know, without having to come back too early. But he's been on a remarkable ride, obviously part of BNC Team Time Trial World Championship, gold medal. So everything has been lining up for him. And the distance, if there's something, power is not going to be the problem for Taylor Phinney. The distance will be the problem, because that short time in coming back, he really hasn't had the time to be able to build up. I think that kind of endurance to be there, but
By Stockholm now it's starting to grow. 57 seconds is now the advantage for this leading group of 4 riders. That just reminds us of who they are. If you've just joined us now, Pantano of Colombia, Bourdin of Canada, Sweetsoft of Belarus, Taylor Phinney of the United States of America, being chased now down by Gatis Smukulas, the Latvian rider. Stephen Cummings has made his way back into the peloton, a rider who rides at the back of the race all the time.
Stand up for a
He
minute.
always tells me, I always say that, but it's true. He sits there constantly, it's just like mechanical. There are some riders who like to ride at the front of the ride, some riders like to ride at the back.
it can be much less stressful riding at the back.
Okay.
And easier.
Yeah.
And easier, it can be. And it depends on the course. On this course, I'm not so sure riding at the back would be easier, but on other courses, for sure. But big chance that you're not going to be able to move up at a certain time. You're not going to be able to make the attack. You're going to miss a split. Anything can happen in the crashes. So there's a lot of risk with riding at the back. On this type of course, I think it would be harder. Plus, the dynamics of the splits happening, I think there's too much that can happen out there. But right now, in the first race, what was the maximum they got up to? Maybe 3.5 minutes?
Yeah.
They didn't really give it too much of a leash. This is already up to a minute, starting to move up the road. Who do you think is going to be? We've seen Holland controlling from lap 1. I don't know how many guys they have left. Is there going to be another team, or do you think it's going to be Holland again if this goes up to like a minute and a half? Who's going to panic first?
I think it's got to be the Germans who are going to panic a little bit, and maybe the Polish team did a lot of riding earlier on, so they're not going to have so many riders left. But one team we haven't mentioned an awful lot about, and I've just noticed coming up to the front of the peloton, Elliot Viviani and Nibali, Italy, have done no work at all yet. We've just heard that Nasser Bouhanni's had a mechanical problem, and he's just been paced back into the peloton by 2 teammates. So Nasser Bouhanni is still in with a shout of winning this world title. This gap is growing. 1 minute 15 seconds now is the advantage for the leading trio.
Okay, they'll shut down. My
And we've got
this stick, okay, it's not connected now.
quite happy to let this gap go. The American riders also sitting near the front. They're happy for Taylor Phinney to be there. Taylor Phinney igniting this race for the United States of America. They got the bronze medal yesterday with, of course, Megan Garnier, who produced a stunning performance for them to get that bronze medal behind her professional teammate, Lucy Armistead. Taylor Phinney, a world champion of the team time trial. He won the Dubai Tour in 2014. He was the individual time trial world champion under 23 back in 2010. He's won a stage of the Giro d'Italia in 2012.
But absolutely everything will go wrong with the shroud tonight.
And one rider trying to go clear here. This rider is Bagdonas of Lithuania. Trying to go clear. He wants to try and get up the road if he possibly can and catch the leading trio. But Taylor Finney also won a stage in the Tour of Poland, a stage in the Eneco Tour. He was fourth in the Olympic Games road race in 2012, only 25 years of age, but certainly a rider who, until he had his crash, was on a massive trajectory, but now, having come back, he's just as good. This is Bagdonas, as he continues with his attack. He rides for Agideuil Mondial, the French squad, as he is a very strong time trial. You can just see that with the strength as he keeps the momentum going. We look down on the peloton, the sun on everyone's backs. We expected it to be pouring with rain today. We've not had that at all. 36 miles left to go, 59 kilometres. Who was going to win this world title? Renato Silvestri, I've got no idea who's going to win.
What?
15, I don't know. I thought Greg Van Avermaet or Stibar, possibly before the start of today's race. And it's still kind of shaping up that way. We'll wait and see what happens. And I agree with Panda, actually. Panda Sportswear said the same thing. I totally agree. Pat Fitzgerald's asked about Sam Bennett. He was certainly in the peloton a lot of the time. I'm just going to see whether I can see him in this group right now. The front group of riders. Bennett is still there, I'm pretty sure. I haven't heard on race radio that he has dropped out of the race at all. But certainly things are starting to be a little bit painful out there for some of these riders. This is Bagdonas. Camillus Bagdonas is 29 years of age as he time trials away. He won the Ampost Ross when he rode for the Ampost Sean Kelly team. He's won a stage of the Tour of Britain as well. And he rides for now Agideuil Mondial. He's a tough bike rider, really good time trials. As we look down now on the peloton, and it is the Dutch ride team and also the Germans who are keeping everything in control. Sweetsock asks for a bottle, which he takes with professional ease. Look at that. Finney, Sweetsock, put back the three fingers as they go through the feed again. The tempo very, very high now. And Boban taking a little drink on board, just trying to keep the body nice and topped up. As Frankie said, in the last 30 miles, the body will start to react in different ways when you are this tired. Bagdonas has just finished the Vuelta a España. It has been interesting the way we've seen little groups of riders going off the front all of the time in today's race. We had that early breakaway, but now as things stand, a trio of riders, and the gap now goes out to 1 minute and 25 seconds. What a similar pattern to what happened yesterday in the women's race, where we saw that group of riders go clear and they got over a minute with a couple of laps to go, and we're seeing similar things happening right now. But Bagdonas is giving this an awful lot of throttle to try and get to the front of the race. Don't know what his time gap is right now. As soon as I hear it, I'll let you know. Downhill then with Boban in the super tough pedaling action, as Frankie said when he came into the commentary box. Taylor Finney right on the wheel, swings off, looking good. Bagdonas now starting to build his advantage on the peloton. The big question is, can he get to the front of the race?
So you still can't change gear on the country anymore. I'm not going to knock this start from the room until the shroud's over.
huge crash on the left-hand side of the road. And a massive crash with loads of riders going down in the speeding area. Team Sky's Northern is down. There's one rider who really crashed pretty heavily, but everyone looks like they're up again. There's one bike left on the deck. I'm just looking to see. Norwood now, just looking at his bike. Let's take a look. As they went through, one rider hit the deck as he went into the feed, and then suddenly everyone crashed on the left-hand side. One of the Polish riders, I think, was Rafał Majka. And Majka was the second rider to hit the deck. I think it was one of the riders on the right-hand side who just everyone piled in there. And it was Viti, the Spaniard, who was the last rider to be held up there. The Guatemalan rider, number 188, is Manuel Rodas. He's going to take a little bit of time to get going. So it looked to me like either someone missed a bottle or something and took that fit out, and then suddenly hit the deck, but all sorts of carnage, which again is going to help. This three-rider breakaway sweeps off Bovan and Taylor Finney, still in the lead of this World Championship with 54 kilometres of racing to go. Zdeněk Štýbar has been the World Cyclocross Champion. He was second in Paris-Roubaix this year on the cobbles. He was second in E3 Harabeka. He won the Strade Bianche, always on tough surfaces. Strade Bianche is a race on the white Tuscan roads, the gravel roads. So he's a rider who loves to be on the cobbled races. He also won a stage of the Tour de France this year. He's had a fantastic season. This race is starting to come back together as we get to the conclusion of these World Championships. Inside the final 40 kilometres, we are in the finale of this year's race. Inside 40 kilometres to go. On the front of the peloton, still Robert Hessing and Roman Kreuziger continue with their work rate to try and bring the race back together. Tony Martin just tracking things a little bit. They'll be looking after the interests of predominantly Andre Greipel. They want this to be a bunch sprint. You wonder whether that's possible, but they also would also be able to play the card of John Degenkolb, who wears number 78. Degenkolb, winner of Milano Sanremo this season. He's looking now to bring home the victory for Germany. Just heard from Alex Dowsett. Said it was pretty hard out there. He is retired from today's race. He had to bring back the big split for the rest of the British riders, and he said it cooked him. So he's now able to just recover and relax a little bit. The rain has gone off, the sun has come back out. So it looks like we may well stay dry by the looks of things until the end of this race, which would be stunning news if that does happen. Looking down on a diminished peloton, as you can see, similar to the women's race yesterday, things are just getting, the peloton getting smaller and smaller with riders going out of the back of the race. The three leaders are just there in front to the right hand side, and suddenly Denmark come to the front. Well, this is a big move from the Danish team.
Yeah, he's going to finish
very strong, aren't they? Look at
this
the
right,
entire
and then
Danish team. Christian Jensen on the front of the race.
He started
He's an
up again.
Irish Danish rider. when you meet him, you think he's going to be Danish, and then you talk to him and he's got a full-fledged Irish accent. But he has dual nationality and he chose to ride for the Danish squad. So Christian Jensen on the front of the peloton right now. In that team, Lars Bak, Rasmus Guldhammer, Matti Brasher we mentioned, looking to set things up now. Michael Morkov, Michael Hulgren Andersen, that's the team of Denmark as we make our way up towards the climb yet again. These riders going along the banks of the James River, closing in now on the three leaders. It looks like they're going to be caught. So Taylor Phinney, Sweetsoft and Bourvan, their time in the lead is about to come to an end with the momentum of this Danish team who look like they are really motoring on the front of the race. Christian Jensen will ride for the Australian Orica Green Edge team next season, and this is closing up very fast. We go underneath the railway tracks, and suddenly this gap which went out to over a minute is about to be closed, and as we hit Libby Hill, this race is all going to come back together. I think we're going to see some fireworks now. The British team moving up on the left-hand side of the screen. Take a look there. They have Ben Swift on the wheel, and he's on the front now. Stannard is up there. They're going to shut things off. Luke Rowe is the first rider onto the cobbles. They put him in a perfect position. It looks like Stannard and Swift are going to keep things on over the top of this climb this time. And Swift, of course, has finished one of the Women's World Championships last year. We've heard from both of them, and they are kind of on their loose climb along the sort of lines of Swift going for the sprint. These two riders lead half of the climb this time. Near the front also are the French riders.
Okay, now I think I've got the number one placements on the final sprints last week on this ride. I think it was this week. First place in the sprints. Overall. It hasn't been surpassed by now. I haven't checked.
To all of you for joining me at and across this week, giving your final predictions as we head in towards the finish. Canada and Viviani win. I think this is perfect for Viviani, of course. 6.8 kilos.
I've got a feeling there's going to be no sprints.
The days back on the saddle, I doubt it. I wouldn't have thought so. And Nico Mackenzie, Geraint Thomas would have been perfect for this course. He would now the attack. And the attack comes from Robin Britton. This is against Stannard. Stannard, the winner of that home.
Yeah, there's no sprints.
He decides to go alone. Robin Hessing is trying to go in it. Stannard has outwitted it. Takes quick step on a number of occasions. Brilliant recognises that this is a big moment in this race.
Yeah, I've never had so many problems on the bloody bike ride since I started the movie. And that was even going from the big movie race about 18 months ago. Where I had no bike, I had to move the sit by hand.
Robert Hessing has sensed the danger. He's going to try and go with Stannard. The big question now is will Hessing...
That was one ridiculous bloody attempt.
Hessing has done an incredible amount of work in this World Championship so far for this Dutch squad, but he's taken the opportunity to go with it. Look how quick they are going downhill from there.